Welcome once again. If you made up to this far, that means by now you have completed your SAP implementation project and also have completed all the assigned trainings. So by now I believe you should be an expert to the SAP's basic navigation. So today we will be not going through those, rather we will be going through the best things or best tweaking that is needed to be done after getting your access. I also have given the timestamp, so later if you need to get back to any of the features, you can go through those immediately. So let me take you to the ACP screen. Immediately after logging into ACP, this is the window you will be getting. This is called Session Manager. So the very first thing to do is to update your user profile after getting your ACP access. That can be done by two different ways, one of which is to go to the menu bar and select System, then select User Profile and click on to User Data. I'm just clicking it and it will be opening a window called Maintain User Profile. This is one of the way to get into it. The other way is to, I'm just taking you back again to the session manager. The other way is to just simply typing the T code, which is SU3, and hitting enter. This will be also taking you to the same window. Here you can see there are a few tabs. We will be getting into it one by one. The first thing to do after getting into here is to update your name information, last name and first name, if that is not maintained correctly by the project team. Then you have to update the work center. If you are working in an intercompany setup, updating this function and department information will be really helpful to your colleagues. So this is one of the information to update if that's an intercompany setup. And if you are using the O2C module or the widely known as sales and distribution module extensively, then I recommend to update the communication information as well. The phone number or updating the email address here will be helping you a lot in communicating directly with the customers or with the vendors. After updating the address tab, I'm taking you to the default tabs. Here there are a few information which is really important to update, one of which is to update the logon information or the logon language information. Most of the time it will be not English as a default, so if that is not reflecting your desired language, you just have to click this mini search button and select your desired language from the configured language and double click. Just for an example, I'm checking English one more time. So there are a few types of English. This is English Canada. I will be using EN, which is this one. I'm just double clicking it and it will be populating that straight away. After language, you need to update the decimal notation. By default, it should be stating the dot notation. You have to update that according to your requirement. Like for me, comma notation makes more sense, so I have updated that to the second option. Just clicking that will be populating that into the system. And then afterwards you have to update the date format. By default it will be the first one, dd.mm. Since where I work, mm/dd makes more sense, so I have selected the option number 2. Time format update is not that important. Either way, whether you update it or not update it will not make any difference, so I always leave it like that. And the last information to update in the default section is to include your printer information. If you have a default printer installed with your system, doesn't matter if that's a Mac or OS, just simply typing LOCL, which represents local, and activating this print now option will be connecting your SAP with your default printer. After updating all of those fields, you have to hit the save button. That will be saving all of your defaults and the address information into the system. Next, we will be updating the technical name information. Here in the session manager, if you are seeing the T codes, you are seeing that there is no technical T code information maintained ahead of the name information. This is one of the really important or really helpful thing to do after getting your SAP access. You can do it again by two different ways. The easiest is to just right click in the session manager. This mini pop-up will appear. Just click select setting. From here select display technical names and hit OK, and that is it. You can see all the T code information now have the technical name maintained ahead of their names. This is one of the way to do it. Other way to do it is simply by I'm just getting it back to the default without the technical name. The next way to do it is to go to the menu bar, select extra, from here select setting, and the same small pop-up window will appear. Just click display technical names and hit OK. And there you go, you have the technical names now maintained for all the transaction codes. Next, you need to update the session manager information. If you are following my mouse pointer, I'm taking you to the status bar, and whenever I click this drop down arrow, it just open few other options. From here you can see one of the option is saying transaction, so it will be highlighting which transaction you are in. I'm just selecting it. Since we are in the home page, which is known as the session manager for SAP, it's now saying that I am at the session manager. So how that will be helping you whenever you are working extensively on SAP, there will be times when you will be opening more than one window. As of now, you can see I just have opened one window. So let me open few more windows to give you more understanding of what I'm saying. In one of the window, let me open two of the other windows. So now you can see I have three windows open side by side. So in one of the window, let me take you to the most common or widely used T code, which is MIGO. So in this window, I have opened MIGO. In the other window, let me open yet another popular T code, which is MMBE, to check the stock. So now I have three windows open side by side. So one of them, I'm at the home page. Here you can see it's saying session manager. The second one, where I open MMBE, you can see it's saying MMBE, and the last one is saying MIGO. So whenever using multiple windows, updating or activating this transaction information from the status bar is really helpful. And updating of this status bar information will take effect the moment you restart your SAP. Not the entire system, only the SAP needs to be restarted. And the moment you restart it, it will be taking your changes immediately as a default. You don't have to do it ever again. The next feature needed to be activated is a technical one. You will for sure need it if you are providing data entries into the system. No matter you are providing data entries or not, I strongly recommend you to activate this option immediately after getting SAP. This feature is called drop-down keys. The company where I work right now, immediately after the implementation, our buyer, who is also a good friend of mine, came to me saying he cannot create any POs because the PO types are not familiar to what he was trained. Let me show you what he meant by that. If I take you to the create POT code, here it is. You can see in the PO types, there are so many options, so many types, some of them are really confusing. Say for example, there are standard POs and there are also standard POs, DFPS. In the project training time, it was guided to the team members that if you are confused, select the PO types by the technical names. So that's what my team member was mentioning. So let me show you how to get the technical names ahead of the PO types. This also can be done by two different ways. One of the way is to go to the session manager and click this icon, the colorful one, which is called the customize local layout. Just click it and select options. This mini window will appear. From here, select the interaction design, expand it, go to visualization 1, select show keys within drop down list, click to activate this one as well, apply and click OK. But that is not it. You have to restart your SAP immediately afterwards. It will be only getting activated after you restart your SAP. This is the first way to do it. The other way to do it is you go to your SAP logon window, click this mini icon beside the SAP logon information. From here, go to option, and the remaining you know how to do it. Go to visualization 1 and clicking these two options, clicking apply and then OK, followed by restarting your SAP system. Now it's time to show you the result. In the meantime, I have restarted my SAP. By the way, the example I showed, the create PO T code, it's not the only T code where this change will be impacted. This will be impacting all the reports, all the drop down fields where you have multiple types and from where you need to select a certain type. Now all those types should be having the technical information ahead of the naming. Let me take you to the same create POT code. Now if you go and check, see all those information, all those naming has the technical name information ahead of them. As a final option, we will be checking how to update your favorite. Let's say from your user menu folder, there are a few T codes which you use quite frequently and you want to use that or add that to your favorite folder. Simply just select that T code. Let me select MMBE. Yes, why not? Just select that, right click and click add to favorite. It will be immediately including that to your favorite folder. This is one of the way to do it. I'm just undoing it. Another way to do it is just selecting that, going to the drop down menu at the top, select favorites and select add. It will be doing the same. I'm undoing it one more time. And the final way to do it is, which is my personal favorite, is to just select the favorite folder, right click it, and these three options will appear. Click insert transaction and then type the transaction name. That is it. This is how to add any T code into your favorite folder. You can add folders to your favorite folder as well as a subfolder. Let me show you how to do it. Simply just go and right click the favorite folder and this time click insert folder. Let me do that twice so it will be easy for you to understand. I'm naming one of them as purchase order and naming the other one as sales order. So now we have two folders but there is nothing inside. So let us start populating those folders. Here we will be doing the same thing simply by just right clicking it and clicking insert transaction. For sales order we know BA05 is the least view of sales orders, and if we want to include create sales order, that is BA01. There you go. In the sales order folder we have some T code included. Now let us do the same for the purchase order, clicking it, then right clicking it, including transaction. Purchase order can be done by 21N. Then let's include create PR ME51N, or let us include the reporting. There you go. You have few transactions listed for purchase order as well. This way you can maintain subfolders inside a favorite folder and also maintain the assigned or related T codes into that subfolder. As a last option, I have seen people having only favorite folder. They don't need the user menu folder because as per them, it might confuse them with a lot of transaction. Yes, you can do it. Simply just right click and go to the setting. From here, there is an option. The second one, do not display menu, only display favorite. Just click it. Click OK. Now you can see you only have the favorite folder, nothing else. Hope you find these features helpful. If you have any queries, do post those down below. I will be more than happy to answer those. Until we meet next time, wishing you all the very best and have fun with SAP.